All right, this is Algebra 2, Chapter 7.2, Graphing Rational Functions. So let's get started with some basic concepts. The parent function of rational functions looks like this. You got one curve in quadrant 1, another curve in quadrant 3. Okay, another thing you want to look at is called the asymptote. We got the horizontal and we got the vertical. Okay, for the parent function, the vertical and horizontal asymptotes are going to be x equals to 0 and y equals to 0. Okay, later on you guys going to see some shifting on the asymptotes. The domain is going to be all real numbers except where the asymptotes are. So for the domain, it's going to be everything except x equals to 0. And as for the range, it's going to be everything, all real numbers, except for y equals to 0. Okay, so let's check out the next one. Reflection. Okay, so reflection is actually a very, it has to be your priority. Number one priority is whenever you guys see a negative in your leading coefficient, for example, y equals to negative 1 over x. Whenever you see a negative, you gotta have to reflect it. So now you see the curve is going to be in quadrant 2 and quadrant 4. Okay, everything stays the same, it's just that the quadrants change. Okay, all right, so let's check out the next one. Let's check out the steeper. So for steeper, which means that you are getting a coefficient that is greater than 1. So for example, in here, you have, for example, 3 times 1 over x. And in this case, what's going to happen is that you see that originally my curve was closer to the asymptotes. Now, nope, it's going to be away. Okay, it got steeper. So it's a little bit more away. Okay, so that's how you're going to show me. You don't have to show me a very accurate graph. Just kind of show me that it's moving away from the asymptotes. Now the next one is going to be flatter. So for example, your coefficient, the leading coefficient is between 0 and 1. In this case, I'm going to use 1/3. So 1/3 times 1 over x. In this case, you're going to see that originally my curve was like that in quadrant 1 and 2. Now it's going to be more attached, closer and closer to the two asymptotes. That's how you're going to show me the flatter graph. Okay, let's check out the next one. Translation. So we got the two different translations. One is a horizontal, another one is a vertical. Translation to the right is part of the horizontal translation. Okay, so when do you see translate to the right? Okay, so here is an example, 1 over x minus 3. Okay, so in this case, you're going to set the denominator equals to 0 and then solve for x. And then in this case, I see that x is equal to 3. In this case, you are going to be translating towards the right by 3 units. Now we have a translate to the left. So here's an example. For example, 1 over x plus 3. You're going to set the denominator equals to 0 and then solve for x. You're going to see that x is equal to negative 3, which means that you're going to move your two curves to the left by 3 units. Okay, so let's check out the next one. We're going to have another one that's translating up. This is a part of the vertical translation. You have to look at, for example, here we have 1 over x plus 3. So this is your k value. If this value is positive, you're going to move your curves up by 3 units. Okay, so that brings us to the last one is going to be translating down. So here is an example, 1 over x minus 3. The k value is a negative, so your two curves are going to move down by 3 units. Okay, so now let's check out some examples from the textbook. Number 4, so you got 10 over x. So basically think of it as 10 times 1 over x. So 10 is our leading coefficient, means that this is going to be steeper. Okay, so if it's steeper, which means that you're going to just show me a graph that's more away, it moves away from the asymptotes, knowing that the asymptotes are going to be x equals to 0, y equals to 0. Okay, that's to use a different color. Let's check out number 6. In this case, it's negative. That gives you a reflection. Okay, and there's a 9, so that's going to be steeper. So what you're going to do is you're going to start with, understand that it's going to be in this quadrant 2 and quadrant 4, but you're going to show me something steeper. Okay, so I'm going to go back and just try to move away from the asymptotes. Okay, so that's how you're going to show me for number 6. So for number 8, it's going to be similar to number 6. There is a negative, and that's steeper. Okay, so you're going to draw 2 curves in quadrant 2, quadrant 4, and that's it. Use a different color here. 0.1. So this is going to be flatter, which means that you are going to be expecting to draw the curve closer to the asymptotes, like this. Okay, since there's no reflection, so you're going to stay in quadrant 1 and quadrant 3. There we go. Let's check out the next one. We're going to have more translations going on. So first of all, let's analyze it. This is going to give you steeper, and this is going to move down by 3 units. Okay, so what you're going to do here is understand that it's steeper, right? But what's going to happen here, you're going to have to move down by 3 units. Okay, so you want to go 1, 2, 3. This is your horizontal asymptote, and then want to give me something steeper. The vertical asymptote doesn't change, still where x equals to 0. Now let's check out the next one. So this one, it just gives you, you want to set it equal to 0, right? So x is going to equal to -2. So it gives you a shift towards the left by 2 units, 1, 2. This is your new vertical asymptote, and there's no steeper or reflection. So just go ahead and give me 2 curves like this. Okay, let's check out the next 2 questions. Number 16, we got a combination of, this is a reflection, this is steeper, and this is going to be moving towards the right by 7 units, because x minus 7, if you set it equal to 0, you're going to find out x is equal to 7, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, plot this out. I mean the asymptotes out. This is the horizontal asymptotes. Let me use a different color here. It's going to be steeper and has a reflection. So reflection and steeper. Okay, let's check out the last one. So we got steeper, and we got moving towards the left because x equals to -7. We got a -5, so it's going to go down 5. Okay, so I can go ahead and just, there's no reflection going on, but it's going to be steeper. We can just draw the horizontal and vertical asymptotes. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So here we are, we got the vertical asymptote right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the horizontal asymptote, and steeper means that you have to move away from your asymptote. Okay, so that's how it looks. And yeah, I forgot to put down a closing picture for this lesson, and that's it. Take care. Peace out.